Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on my recent Star Wars pre-release, as well as Star Wars Unlimited pre-release, as well as the first week of play that I've had with the game. Kind of give you my general thoughts on how I think the game is and how the reception is in my local area, and hopefully give you some points to maybe get you to make a good informed decision on the game itself if you want to get into it, things of that nature, and just kind of talk about it. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Feel free to check out my other content. I do a wide array of TCGs here, from Flesh and Blood to Star Wars Unlimited, Alpha Clash, Universes, you name it. I'm trying to do as many as I can in any games that I play on a weekly basis to help give you the best possible information you can in the TCG space. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you so much as always. Feel free to check out my Discord down below, as well as my channel membership. If you've been watching the channel for a while, maybe you've been subscribed, you like it, and you want to support in a different way, there's really cool things that you can win with different, or giveaways you can enter with different channel membership rewards and different levels. So feel free to check that out, but we'll get right into it. So for the Star Wars Unlimited, I really hadn't been following the game up until the release, until about a month or so ago. I have a really good friend, Doa, on Twitter, who has his own channel. Definitely go check them out. I'll link them down below. They have a really good podcast and just overall channel on the game itself. Really, his content kind of got me interested in the game. I've always been a Star Wars fan, always enjoyed the IP like many people, and I think that that's mostly everyone's initial draw into the game. But as a TCG enthusiast and player, you know, I wanted to see, like, okay, is this going to have deep enough mechanics? Is it going to be fun? Is it kind of just like relying on the IP to be good? I wasn't sure. And with a game like this, it's really difficult because you're going to get a lot of biased opinions. You're going to get a lot of people, in a good way, that just want to play the game because it's Star Wars. It has nothing to do with how it is a trading card game. And I saw that at the pre-release. I saw several people that came to the pre-release to play just because they wanted to play Star Wars, which is awesome. That's not a bad thing. But for me as a TCG player, I wanted to, you know, figure out if it's worth my time, you know, as an enthusiast myself. So went to the pre-release. As you can see, you get this pre-release kit, which I got. Really, really cool. Couple good points about it is, you know, they did a good job at giving you stuff that made it worth it, right? I think the cost for the pre-release for me was $30, if I remember correctly, which gives you access to 6 packs. You get the foiled Luke and Darth Vader promo character cards to be able to use, that you're allowed to use in this one event only. And you're also allowed to use any leader that you open in general. And then you build from your 6 packs and you play. They also came with like counters for your base and for damage counters, as well as a quick start rules guide, and some other stuff, and a little deck box. So really, really good stuff for your whole pre-release kit. And each player got their own, like, just pre-release box. You open it up, you play. It wasn't just packs, which I thought was really, really nice. The game itself is pretty simple to learn. The only weird thing is the affiliation, right, with the different colors. You technically can play any color in your deck, like, just because your character may be, let's say, Rebel, right, and then your other 2 colors are, like, you know, a certain thing. You can play a color that's not of those 3 color affiliations. It just costs more to play, which I thought was really cool. And, you know, stuff like this is always fun because there's a good mix of just fun Star Wars stuff, but also good TCG mechanics. I'll talk about it in a later video when we talk about, like, why I think you should play Star Wars Unlimited. I'm going to do a video on that, kind of give you my top 5 reasons. But the one reason that I'll say here that you're going to hear in that video too is you play on 2 different axes, right? You have a leader with a base, and your base has a certain amount of health, and your goal is to get damage counters up to the equal to your opponent's base health. And if you do that, you win the game. But you play on 2 different axes. You play on ground and space. And space units can't attack ground units. Ground units can't attack space units. Both sides can attack your leader's opponent's base. And your goal is basically you have a bunch of standing... It's like standing board state, like in Magic, but they operate on different axes. So you can control space and dominate that side. Do you want to control ground? Do you want to go for like a mix of the 2? So on and so forth. And I thought that was really cool. And it creates a depth of play that both TCG enthusiasts can enjoy, but also just Star Wars fans can, like, geek out about, right? The one negative from a mechanic standpoint, and this isn't, I mean, every limited format is going to have a little bit of weird mechanics, but removal in this game, it is present, but it's really hard to get in limited. So honestly, you can just play like Unga Bunga, play low cost attacks and attack their base, and it's similar to Lorcana when Lorcana first released, where there's not much. If you open enough good cards, and not even good cards, just like functional cards, you can really, it just turns into a base race where it's like, I'm just going to put a card down, attack your base, put a card down, attack your base. And cards don't have haste, so you have to wait a time, but it's just really hard to get the removal necessary to like combat that. So that's a little bit feels bad from like a hardcore TCG perspective. I'm assuming draft will feel different, but sealed to me felt like most sealed limited formats do feel aggro heavy, but this one was extremely aggro heavy. Like once, if someone can just get like 2 or 3 units down faster than you, unless you have some insane card that swings the game, you pretty much lose. And so that is the one negative about it, but it's fine. It wasn't like a, make or break type thing. I do enjoy how they did the pre-release. Everyone gets the same amount of promos and same amount of things. It's not feels bad if you go 0-3 or 3-0. It doesn't matter. And people opening like legendaries and hyperspace rares and stuff like that was really cool. So I really do enjoy that. I also kind of want to talk about, if I can here, we'll take off this showcase here for a second and I'll pull up this. But I wanted to talk about the organized play because I think that's really important for people that are first starting to get in this game. They do have an organized play, a weekly play system that they're implementing. They said they took kind of feedback from the pre-release events. And they said, as first described back in our preview on casual play, the bulk of each organized play season will be filled with weekly play. These events are meant to be open-ended and plentiful and true to their name, right? It's supposed to be fun, right? They're not going for insane competitive like viability, although I do think the game does have competitive layers to it. But the weekly play will go from store to store, from week to week, and weekly play might take the form of a short casual tournament. It might be draft or sealed, what have you. I think it's going to be more in the stores to dictate that. I don't know if it's going to be from them, but they're trying to make an environment that's both new for welcoming and veteran players, so that weekly play can be, a form of a simple gathering such as open play, or you can have something that's very serious and does really well for competitive player. So they're going to have awesome prizes. The weekly play organized play kit comes with enough promo packs to support 8 players for up to 8 weeks, which is really cool. Your store can grab multiple kits. They're going to have variants, which is something I really enjoy that a lot of TCGs are getting smarter on. Is they just have common promos and rare promos, right? For based off like who wins that weekly play. I'm assuming the common promos can either be hyperspace variants of starter cards such as the R2D2 or I Am Your Father, or select cards with an OP organized play special frame such as Waylay and Spark of Rebellion, things like that. So, if we look at it here, I'll pull some of these up. I love when card TCGs just bring in these alt art version of cards that aren't broken. So like this is a common. They're very good, but it's meant to just give you like these cool looks to cards you already play, and they're not like saying, okay, in order to make your deck competitive, you have to have these cards and you have to play weekly play and win weekly play, and it creates kind of a degenerate play loop. I love that they're just going to do really cool alt arts, and their alt arts are amazing, y'all. Definitely check it out. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm going to be playing it. Our LGS, the End Games, is trying to start up a weekly play already. I think we had 8 at one, which was just one play kit. He only had enough for one play kit anyway. We had 8 people show up to the pre-release at one LGS, and then the bigger LGS in our area had like 21 people show up, which was really cool. And I'm hearing people in other parts of the country that had like 32 sell out, like full 32 people at their pre-release. So the game's already got some good traction. You're going to have, new players from, people just love Star Wars, as well as veteran TCG players. And truly, with my first impressions of the game, I think there's something for everyone in this game. I really do. The cost is relatively low right now. You can build a deck pretty cheap. You don't have to have the legendaries to enjoy the game, in my opinion. They do help, but you don't need them, especially early on in this game's life cycle where people are just going to want to shuffle up and play type stuff. So definitely check it out. I think it's worth it. I personally am going to be playing in my weekly plays. I already have a decent Boba Fett build. I got really lucky. My 2 favorite characters, or 2 of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, and Sabine and Boba Fett, are both extremely powerful decks in the format. I'm going to be making a video talking about like which decks are interesting to me and which ones I think you should try out for different play styles for aggro or control. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, definitely a game I think you should check out if you're a Star Wars fan. And even if you're not, I think this has enough depth of play in the trading card game space to where you can enjoy it and still have fun, even if you're not a mega Star Wars nerd. But hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it made sense. I think it's a really good step in the right direction. A lot of people are going to be enjoying it. But if you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not, it's totally fine. Go to Nerd Creator. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so we can get more people playing trading card games. And I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk. Thank y'all so much.